What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Daily Upside. I'm your host, Keen Rivals, bringing you the most updated news on sports cards every day. Hope you guys enjoyed your All Star weekend. I know there were a lot of mixed results on like how the All Star weekend went, and the dunk contest and things like that. But for the most part, I'd say it was a pretty success. It was threw together last minute. I said they did pretty well. My favorite part of the All Star game was Stephen Curry. I know Giannis got the MVP. I know Damian Lillard did his thing. Jason Tatum surprised me a little bit, but definitely, I was all in on Stephen Curry. I think he solidified himself. For anybody who was doubting his game, I mean, who was nobody, but yeah, he cemented his legacy just a little bit more. So I like the confidence. I like that he's a superstar who's still trying, who's still putting in the effort, who's not trying to prove things, but like he said, trying to accomplish things. So yeah, big shout out to Stephen Curry. He made All Star Weekend exciting. That 3 point contest was all time, and I'm more excited about 3 point contest in the future than I am anything else. I don't care about dunk contests. I don't care about skills challenges. Give me more 3 point contests. Before we take a dive into today's content, I do want to remind you guys that I do run a weekly newsletter. If you haven't joined the Upside Squad, then definitely do so. Every week, I put out a sports cards pick of the week. These last few sports cards picks of the week have been on fire. So yeah, that's going to be dropping tomorrow. I drop them every Wednesday. That also gives you access to my members only Discord. So definitely check that out at highupsideshow.com. It's less than a cup of coffee per week. Heading into some NBA news, I'm rocking with The Athletic. You guys know that's who I subscribe to. I pay money for this, so I definitely want to make sure we read these articles here. And yeah, the first article is just talking about Giannis and how he was all smiles in the All-Star game. He took home that Kobe Bryant MVP award. I said it earlier, but you guys know I really enjoy Stephen Curry, but I'd be lying if I said Giannis didn't surprise me as well. He was just having a lot of fun out there. He looked dominant. He looked like a man amongst boys to a certain degree. Yes, he's tall and he can dunk. I know he's not the most talented, according to James Harden. But yeah, man, I feel like Giannis kind of, much like Stephen Curry, he kind of solidified his greatness. I feel like this year in the sports cards world, we've kind of given up on Giannis, or we're just not excited about him as we used to be. The Bucks are looking kind of meh. They don't have anybody else. No one's a huge fan of Chris Middleton, despite him being a solid player. And I just feel like, we were kind of soft on Giannis. We were like, he may not be the GOAT like we thought he was. And I don't know. I feel like after watching that game, I know it's a scrimmage, to a certain extent, but I feel like he's kind of the future of the NBA. Looking at those young guys, you could just tell Giannis wants it more. I did like Jason Tatum's aggressiveness. Luca just Luca just didn't do it for me. Like he doesn't have that. He's great in games, but when it comes to like showing off or being the top guy, he just doesn't seem interested in that. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out for him. I wanted to see him kind of solidify himself more, kind of let them know like, yo, I'm here. I'm that guy. And I just didn't see that. But with Giannis, he wants to win. He wants to be that guy. He wants the awards. He wants the accolades. He's not afraid to say that and show up. So yeah, I'm liking Giannis. I'm looking at some of his cards. I don't have too much to talk about them today, but I feel like he deserved that MVP despite Steph Curry and Dame Lillard putting on the show. When you go 16 from 16, 3 for 3 from downtown, you got to take home that award. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the sports cards market is soft on Giannis? Are you high on Giannis long term? Do you still have him as the face of the NBA once these goats kind of retire? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking of goats, the Athletic also came out with their NBA midseason predictions, and they have LeBron James barely earning the MVP. I put a post on Instagram last week, and I asked you guys who you thought should be like the top MVP runner. Were you with Jokic, or were you with Embiid? And a lot of you, didn't agree with any of those. A lot of you said James Harden, but a lot of you said that you didn't think that Jokic or Embiid were going to win. And apparently neither does the Athletic. So they have LeBron James edging out Joel Embiid. And I can see that happening, I guess. I can see like Jokic and Embiid and the center hype kind of falling off and LeBron taking it home, or maybe even James Harden, as a lot of you kind of alluded to. If Kevin Durant can stay healthy, then we can see that as well. So yeah, they have LeBron James winning MVP. They have Rudy Gobert winning Defensive Player of the Year, and they also have Ben Simmons in that conversation. They have LaMelo Ball winning Rookie of the Year by a clear sweep. There's not even like he's just going to be a unanimous Rookie of the Year. They have Jordan Clarkson winning the Sixth Man of the Year, And they have Jeremy Grant of my Detroit Pistons. Shout out to Jeremy Grant, winning Most Improved Player of the Year. Hopefully, the Pistons don't drop the ball and trade him. They have Julius Randle getting some votes as well as Zach Levine. Julius Randle is definitely, potentially deserving of that. But yeah, Jeremy Grant's doing his thing. For Coach of the Year, they have Quinn Snyder. For Executive of the Year, they have Sean Marks, for those of you who care. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So they also have some bold predictions. I'll list off a few. They have John Collins going to the Celtics. I'm not really sure for who. They say the Nets will not make the Eastern Conference Finals. They had the Knicks and the Chicago Bulls going to the playoffs. And they have the New Jersey Nets landing a center, probably Andre Drummond, maybe. If the Nets get Andre Drummond, holy shit. So yeah, that's kind of it for the predictions there. Check out the Athletic. They're not sponsoring the show, though they should be. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good service, and it's not too much money, and it gives you some really solid insight. Moving on to some sports cards, we kind of got a quick episode today. Stephen Curry, after his epic performance, he's kind of back up in price. He was trending down for a little bit. If we look at Card Ladder, we can see his tops PSA 10, take a little bit of a dip. It went to like 1400 or something along those lines. And I think it peaked around like 17. And now we kind of see it pushing back up. So the last two sales were 16,000. And then yesterday we had one for 15,800. So if you would have bought this card, 2 weeks ago, you'd be up 6% at a profit of $900. Not bad for those of you who picked up the slight dip. Stephen Curry's tops PSA 10. There's only 351 of these, so it is a limited paper card, very condition sensitive. Probably not going to see a lot of these graded. And even if we do, a lot of them won't gem mint. I'm not really sure where I'm at in terms of investments on this card. It's a super high price point. I mean, in order to 2x, you're looking at 34,000. But with Stephen Curry's tops Chrome PSA 10 being so much money, that's not completely out of the realm. Again, very limited, very rare card. So I don't know if it's a great growth, card to buy, but definitely if you're looking to have a store value, looking to have a little bit of percentage gain, it's one of those cards you definitely, want in your collection if you can afford it. With that being said, Stephen Curry does have some cheaper cards. We also saw his Panini rookie sale. This was a PSA 10, and it sold 2 days ago for $1,575. So a lot cheaper. I think this card's super undervalued. I talked about Panini so many times here. People forget this is like the first Panini card. This is the inauguration, the genesis, if you're into crypto, the first Panini card. That's like saying the first Topps Chrome or the first Topps, like that. Those are valuable. Kobe's Topps Chrome is valuable. So I think these are very, very undervalued right now, especially if the Topps is going for 10 times the price point. Now, I'm not saying like go rush and buy these or anything. Obviously, do your own research, look into the market, see if it's a solid bet for you. But yeah, this one has 61 bids. So very, very popular amongst collectors and investors. I want to say last week we kind of talked about these. They were going for $1,000. So they're up about 33%. So not bad if you pick this up. And again, I still think it has some room to grow. Right now, Stephen Curry's upper deck goes for about 2,300. I'm not really sure why this wouldn't be, the same price as the upper deck, kind of being that flagship card for the set. I think we can see this hitting $2,000 fairly quickly, especially if Stephen Curry continues to dominate, especially if the Golden State Warriors can get to the playoffs. So yeah, if I had $15,000 and I was looking to buy a Stephen Curry rookie, I'd probably buy 10 of the Paninis before I went and bought the Tops. I'm not sure if you guys agree with that, but that's probably what I would do. Definitely just a better investment in my opinion. Now, Stephen Curry's the only non-New Jersey Nets player we're going to talk about. If you kind of clicked on this video, this video is about the Nets. I feel like right now the Nets are dominating. I feel like they're going to be a clear Eastern Conference, winner, despite the Athletics saying they're not going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. But yeah, I'm big on the Nets, and I'm looking, and I have a lot of money invested in the Nets, so take that with a grain of salt. But looking at some of the recent, transactions here, the recent listings, a lot of people are kind of in agreement with me. The Nets cards across the board are just up, and we're going to talk about a few here right now. So first up, looking at Kyrie Irving's Prism PSA 10. This card always makes me a little bit sick because I had so many. Like when people hated Kyrie, I was just buying his Prism cards like nonstop. Made some money on them, but could have made a lot more. We saw this one ended for $1,475. I'm not really sure where I'm at on this card in terms of investing. It's up, $167 over the last 2 weeks here. So 12% growth, has a pop of 682, has a small market cap. So that's really, really good. I guess the thing that scares me the most is when you kind of compare it to the rest of the 2012 prisms. We have Anthony Davis sitting at 2,300 and we have Kawhi sitting at 3,000. So like right off the bat, that tells me like, man, Kyrie probably only has a chance to 2x, assuming these other guys don't move up. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but that's kind of how the market works. Like Kyrie probably can't go up. Kyrie can't pass Anthony Davis. Kyrie probably not going to pass Kawhi. So like, AD would have to go up in order for Kyrie to go up, in my opinion. Which I can see happening. If AD was here, if he was healthy right now, I can see Anthony Davis and the Lakers, if they were doing really well, I can see AD kind of pushing that $3,000 price point. If that happened, I think that opens up the floor for Kyrie, and I think that allows him to become a $2,000 to $2,500 card. But that's a big if. So I do think it's a solid investment considering 2012 Prism, just or 2012 overall doesn't have a lot of good cards to buy of Kyrie. Prism Contenders and National Treasures and Immaculate are really your only options. I guess you can kind of get into the select hot rookies. I'm not a big fan of those though. And then you kind of have like those one-off sets that really didn't work that well. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to make about 600, 700, $800, I think that's very possible with this card. However, I think there's better values out there in terms of ROI. Kyrie also just isn't the safest investment, despite how much I like him. He can just stop playing basketball at a drop of a dime. So definitely, got some risk factors there. So yeah, do your own research on that one. Not financial advice, but I do think it's a solid opportunity. It just has a lot of risk, in my opinion, and not enough upside to kind of go all in. But yeah, I'm liking Kyrie's Prism, and I'm liking the potential of Anthony Davis moving up in price, assuming he comes back healthy and he does well. A lot of ifs, but it can definitely happen. Moving on from Kyrie, I want to talk about the newest member of the New Jersey Nets, and that's Blake Griffin. When I heard the Pistons were buying out Blake Griffin, I went into my Discord and I'm like, "Who's buying Blake?" And everybody kind of laughed. I was dead ass serious. I feel like Blake was just going to jump in price. It was inevitable. We knew he was either going to the Lakers or to the Nets. He wasn't going to go to some subpar team. However, I didn't expect him to jump this much. A few days ago, his Topps Chrome rookie, which is numbered to 999, a PSA 9 sold for $750. Just a month ago, this was like a $250 card. I remember when the season first started, I was looking at Blake Griffin cards because I knew he was going to get traded. And there was like Panini rookies for like $40. There was Topps rookies for like 150. So, you know, smart money bought these. It wasn't worth the gamble to me. I don't want to risk returns and things of that nature. I don't know what Blake Griffin's role with the Nets is going to be, but yeah, it went for $750, which is a quick 3x from where it was. So, people are valuing Blake Griffin cards pretty high, and rightfully so. Blake Griffin used to be a beast. That 2009 Topps Chrome set is just iconic. Being so limited. So yeah, I feel like with James Harden and Stephen Curry, Blake Griffin was just bound to go up now that he's on the Nets. It's just hype. I don't think it's going to last, but I did want to report that they are moving up because sometimes people have Blake Griffin cards at home in a box. They don't know. They listen to the show. They have no idea Blake Griffin's at a 3x. Go dig in those boxes. It might be time to list your Blake Griffin cards. Moving on to Kevin Durant, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't talk about his 2007, 2008 Topps 112 rookie. That's the black border Topps rookie for those of you who don't know. We saw a PSA 7 sell for $295. If you guys know me, I've been talking about this rookie for a few months now. I think it has insane potential, and I'm going to tell you why in this episode in a little bit. But I think it has insane potential, and we're starting to see it move up. If you were to watch some of the early episodes of Daily Upside, we were talking about his PSA 8 for around $220, and now we see the PSA 7, selling for almost $300. So those cars are definitely moving up. They're definitely going a lot slower than I thought, probably due to Kevin Durant's injury. But yeah, they're still going up. The Nets are looking great. They got Blake Griffin, they got Kevin Durant, they got James Harden, they have Kyrie. So it's just like, they're just going to keep moving up, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but I'm heavily, invested in these cards. So I'm obviously bullish on them. And yeah, 295 for PSA 7. That's starting to look more around the price points that I was expecting. I still think the PSA 7 has room to grow. I still think the PSA 8 has room to grow. And I still think the PSA 9 has room to grow. So if we look at the PSA 9 here, we saw one sold for $1,575. Again, a nice boost from where they were. When I was buying these cards, I kind of got in a little bit late because I was buying so many of the PSA 8s, but I was picking mine up, last month for around $1,000. And now we see them at 1,500. So not bad. I think I have 5 of the PSA 9s. So if we're just talking pure profit, that's a quick $2,500. So definitely not mad at that. However, if you look at my charts here, if you're signed up for the membership, you can see my investment sheet. You can see I have this card being a $2,500 card, and I still think that's relatively modest. I tend to get out of plays at solid price points. I think this one can go to 2,500. At least that's my target. At least that's my target for it. So yeah, I still think there's some good opportunity here with this one, assuming Kevin Durant plays really well. We got to change the pop report here. It's 666. We don't need any bad karma. So, I know PSA, prices have went up, but people, please submit this card so we can get that pop report change, get some good luck on our side. But yeah, $1,500. I think it's a solid play. If you kind of want a safe investment. If you're looking for something with a little more upside, I've always been a fan of kind of these one-off Kevin Durant cards. The 1957 Topps variation was one that I was very high on. It was around $700-800 when I first started talking about it. Yesterday, we saw one go for $1,800. I think if you're looking to invest in something like this, then obviously this card's not a play, but it shows you that some of those Kevin Durant cards, those unique ones, those one-off ones, those UD, SPs or, whatever subset you're looking at might also bring some value. If this one can get to $1,800, why couldn't some of those other ones? Kevin Durant has some really unique cards, the Fleer Retro, the Kobe kind of reincarnation card, the one that looks like 1998 SP Authentic. Upper Deck really went all out and retroed a lot of things for this year. So I think Kevin Durant, I think all of his cards are kind of just undervalued right now. The Topps Chrome, the Bowman Chrome, those are doing really well. But a lot of people were sleeping on those 1957 Topps editions, those SP Authentics. And as those Topps and Bowman Chromes kind of push up in value, we're going to see a lot of people go back and buy those cards up. So if you're looking for some more upside with a little more risk, definitely look at some of the more unique Kevin Durant cards that you don't hear or see about too much. If you're looking for a safe play, I think the PSA 9 Topps, the PSA 10 Topps, the PSA 8 Topps, the Topps 112 across the board might be a good investment to get into. It's safe, but it still has upside. And if you follow the newsletter, you'll know I always say those are my favorite plays. Plays that have upside, but they're also safe. You just can't beat that. You can't beat that. Moving on from Kevin Durant, I want to talk about James Harden. If you're a savvy investor and you're watching this on YouTube, you've already noticed something. And if you haven't noticed it, or if you're listening to this on a podcast, I'll circle back to it. Don't worry. But yeah, James Harden's Topps PSA 9 rookie recently sold for $1,725. Again, 2009 Topps is just iconic. Stephen Curry, James Harden, I guess Blake Griffin now, maybe DeMar DeRozan if we stop disrespecting him. There's some really good players in this set. Unfortunately, not Brandon Jennings, who I was rooting for. But yeah, a lot of good players in this set. And James Harden's finally getting his respect now. A lot of people are talking about him being MVP, as I said earlier. And he's moving up in the world. He's starting to close in on Steph Curry. Not quite there, but he's starting to close in as an MVP, as a top scorer, as one of the best point guards in the league right now. It's about time. I don't know how much upside these have with the way the Nets are playing. I'm assuming that Kevin Durant's gonna take the scoring toll. James Harden's going to be the facilitator, and Kyrie's kind of going to be the distraction on defense. That's kind of how I see it. So I don't know how high James Harden can push. I do think they'll continue to go up a little bit. I just don't know how high in terms of ROI. If this card goes to $2,200, $2,300, $2,500, that's a solid play. But obviously, that's maybe not the best investment if you're looking to spend $1,700. So I'm not really sure if I'll be buying James Harden Topps. I do think some of his other cards are valuable. If you follow the sports cards pick of the week, we got into a really good play with James Harden. I won't give it away because it's still kind of out there. You guys got to subscribe to the newsletter. I'm telling you. But yeah, just wanted to report that it's moving up. Now here's what I was talking about earlier. So I brought this card up not because I think it's a fantastic investment, but because it's just kind of weird to me. If you look at James Harden's Topps, like the Topps PSA 9, it went for $1,741. It has a pop of 553, and it's up 287% within the last month. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant's PSA 9, which is up 55%, sold for $1,577. and it has a pop of 666. We got to get that changed. I don't know about you guys. I love James Harden. I love Kevin Durant. I don't think James Harden's card should be more than Kevin Durant's. I don't care if Kevin Durant has two tops rookies. We know what the true rookie is. There's no reason why James Harden's tops should be more than Kevin Durant's tops. There's no reason that James Harden's tops and Kevin Durant's tops should be similar in price. I think James Harden's a beast. I think he's one of the best players in the league. I think Kevin Durant is one of the best players ever in terms of scoring that basketball. So this is why I'm really big on that Kevin Durant black border. I think it's super cheap, especially if we're going to be having James Harden's tops go for more. I know what you guys are going to say. Kevin Durant has two of them or whatever the case may be. I don't care. It's super limited. We know what the true rookie is. It's condition sensitive, and it's Kevin Durant. It just shouldn't be in the same ballpark as James Harden. No different than Steph Curry isn't in the same ballpark as James Harden. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. That's going to be it for the show. Just wanted to bring you some of that news. I'm big on the Brooklyn Nets. I have a lot of my money invested into Kevin Durant, Kyrie. If I see some James Harden plays, I'll probably add him to the stack. I don't know if they're going to win the championship, guys. That's not how I invest. They just have to look like they're going to win the championship. And that's kind of where I'm at. I get out these plays before they go to the finals. I'd probably be selling mine first round of the playoffs, maybe second round, depending on the matchup. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys haven't already, head over to Twitter, shoot me a follow at High Upside Show. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, I am also on Instagram. Every follow means a lot. I got some really good posts coming out pretty soon, some questions of the day, and I actually have a buy, sell, hold coming up. So for those of you who know about that, I'm sure you're pretty excited. If you never heard of that before, follow me on Instagram and you'll be updated. If you haven't already, check out the highupsideshow.com, sign up for the newsletter. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Happy investing.